Morning, guys. This is Scott Hall here, also known as Hall Shadow from Motley Fool Caps. It's about 4:30 in the morning here in California, and I can't get to sleep because of this blasting cold I've had for the past 4 days. So I decided instead of laying on my bed just staring at the wall, I'd get on here and try to get a little something productive done instead, and see if I can't get to sleep afterwards. So I decided to come on and talk about what's been going on with Samson Oil and Gas and the developments that have come out in regards to that company since the trading halt here in America and also in Australia began a couple of days ago. Trading halt's over now. It really didn't need to happen, in my opinion. Maybe there's some sort of regulation in Australia that it needed to because the news is going to be material. But we got 6.3 million, I think it is, from the second closing. And compared to the 63.7 million we got from the first closing, it's just kind of silly that we halted trading for this, but not the first one. The only thing I can think of is that we announced that Chesapeake is the acquirer of our acreage interest in the Niobrara. That was previously not public knowledge, although you could have found out if you really cared to, because if you go to the Wyoming Oil and Gas Conservation Commission's website, you can go in there and check up on uh, drilling permits that were approved for Samson, and you would have seen that they got transferred over to Chesapeake over the past week and a half. And so, if you'd done a little bit of digging, like a lot of people online did, including myself, you'd have found out ahead of time that Chesapeake was the acquirer of the acreage. It's all public now, though. Everyone's going to know about it. So, it is what it is. I don't know that that was worth halting trading over for 2 days. Like I say, maybe there's some regulation in Australia I don't understand. But the trading halt's done now. Though, we are going to get a third the third closing of the Goshen County sale in the week of the 27th for between, check my notes here, 2.2 and $4.1 million for the remainder of the acreage that was originally agreed upon. Additionally, we're going to acquire 3D seismic for our remaining 17,000 acres in the Niobrara coming up October, mid to late October, for I think it was 55, 65 square miles worth. So it should cover the whole thing based on my calculation. That'll be pretty interesting, and we're going to use that apparently to help with the planning for the drilling that we're going to do our first two wells coming up here in the first quarter of 2011, which will be very interesting because if those are successful, that'll be the huge driver of growth and value behind Samson for the years to come. We do have more news coming up about the Gary well that should be just about completed by now. It could come out any day, as far as I can tell, based on what Samson's told us in its most recent press releases about Gary and Rodney and Earl and like. And then after that, we should have Rodney being completed in October if the previous projections are still holding true. That's when we're going to finish the completion there. And we just recently spud Earl. So we still got lots in the Bakken that's coming up that we'll get the initial production from that, and that should really help immediate term cash flow too. Like we were positive operating cash flow in the most recent quarter, and so I think it's only going to get better from here as we keep drilling more and more wells, and then especially once we get into drilling our DJ Basin, Niobrara shale wells, as well as getting royalty interest from Chesapeake, which unfortunately have been reduced to 3.8% from 4.8% due to top lease acquisitions and lease extensions that had occurred during the transaction. Either way, though, the market didn't value the royalty interest as being worth anything. It still doesn't. The company's still trading at a massive discount, in my opinion, to its near-term net asset value. And so the news that we're going to get only a 3.8% royalty as opposed to a 4.8% royalty shouldn't hurt as much as it could have. We'd been modeling that pretty conservatively as well. If you check my most recent blog post about the Rodman and Renshaw conference that Samson went to, which you can still listen to. It's webcast live. No, not live, but it's archived. It's archived webcast. But I listen to it live. So yeah. Now we just wait for more news to come out, and hopefully, when trading resumes this morning, people won't take the news too negatively that it wasn't as big as probably should have been, halting trading for 2 days. But if they do, oh well, it'll be a good opportunity to average down for people who believe that this company's going places is undervalued, and will be increasing its value in the years to come through the Niobrara Shale drilling results. So until later, bye. Best wishes, Scott.